Welcome. My name is Natasha Polomsky, and I'm your host tonight. The Canadian Association of BioEnergetic Wellness, CanBeWell, is excited to present to you a contribution to this year's International Youth Day titled BioEnergetic Games to Play. Tonight, our presenters are my fellow CanBeWell members and Choose Love Canadian ambassadors, Tanya Levy, Paula Novak-Drew, and Michelle Greenwell. These ladies will be sharing the collaborative opportunities that can be enhanced when members work together. Together we are celebrating International Youth Day with the launch of It's in the Cards, a deck of games and activity cards created by our presentation committee to help spread the word about bioenergetic wellness and self-care fun. This is a pre-recorded webinar provided to the public by CanBeWell and its presentation committee. We will begin this event by acknowledging that we are meeting on the Aboriginal land that has been inhabited by Indigenous peoples from the beginning. As settlers, we are grateful for the opportunity to meet here, and we thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. I would like to acknowledge that Tanya, Michelle, and I reside in Mi'kmaq, the ancestral land and the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. This territory is covered by the Treaty of Peace and Friendship with Mi'kmaq and Maliseet people first signed with the British Crown in 1725.
And I acknowledge today I'm located near London, Ontario, and I'm located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Lenape, and the Adawandran peoples on the lands connected with the London Township. And this land continues to be a home for diverse Indigenous peoples whom we recognize as contemporary stewards of the land and vital contributors to our society.
CanBeWell's vision is to create a world where many bioenergetic wellness disciplines and modalities are recognized, valued, and utilized as people make choices to improve their quality of life. Our mission is that as champions of personal choice in health and wellness, our members work together, encouraging ongoing professional development in the field of bioenergetic wellness to better provide services and education to the public. We support you, your friends, family, and colleagues in self-care and personal well-being. We offer you the opportunity to participate in webinars, workshops, and community outreach programs. And this year, for the first time, our Shift into Wellness Summit. If you consider to become a part of the family, a CanBeWell membership supports our many programs as we connect, learn, create, and advocate. You can find further information about our advocacy and outreach programs at canbewell.org, in our public and member newsletters, on social media like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, and in our YouTube channel. All our links are listed under Linktree CanBeWell. Our presenters tonight are Tanya Levy, a counselor at the Nova Scotia Community College. She's trained in Therapeutic Touch and Touch for Health, and she's an interactive artist. Paula Novak-Drew is a retired educator. She's trained in Eden Energy Method, Therapeutic Touch, Touch for Health, and in Brain Gym, both as an instructor, and she's currently studying Compassionate Inquiry with Dr. Gabor Mate. Michelle Greenwell is working on her doctoral dissertation in integrative health, focused on manual biofeedback and its relationship to personalized self-care. She's a Touch for Health and Therapeutic Touch instructor, an author and program developer with a focus on movement for wellness. You can reach out to all of them on their Linktree information. They have all links linked there. So if you go on Linktree for Paula Novak, it's Learning Infinitive Possibilities. For Tanya Levy, it's Linktree Heart Lady Inspiration. Michelle Greenwell can be found under http Linktree Dance Debut. And the card game can be found under It's in the Card, Linktree, It's in the Cards. Please keep in mind that we have upcoming events. August 19th is BioEnergetic Essentials Book Launch, which is a new book that has been created by us. On August 24th, we have Brain Fitness with Jill Hewlett. And then there's pre-summit webinars for members and summit registrants. This is a cooperation from CanBeWell with Knowledge, Shifting into Wellness 2021 Synergy Summit with a 3-part series beginning in November. Without further ado, I'll give you the presenters.
I'd like to welcome you to our webinar. The launch tonight of It's in the Cards coincides with celebrating International Youth Day 2021. I'd like to welcome you to the launch of our new card game. We created these cards to help parents, educators, and bioenergetic wellness facilitators to share the value and power of bioenergetic wellness tools.
Hi, I'm Paula Nowak-Drug, and this is our collaborative team. We have Tanya Levy and Michelle Greenwell. And I just want to tell you a little bit about Tanya. Tanya is a counselor, and Tanya's passion is to support each individual in their healing journey through counseling, inspirational photography, healing arts, and writing. And Michelle Greenwell is a movement specialist, and her passion is to use movement to heal the body, share the power of manual biofeedback through muscle monitoring and awareness, and share tools to energize and create vitality daily. And I am an educator and also a bioenergetic wellness facilitator. And my passion is to assist others in navigating stress, cultivating well-being, and reclaiming joyful essence. So thank you to Tanya and Michelle for being such a great collaborative and creative team.
We've been inspired by many different disciplines and modalities that we've all been trained in, and our special relationships with the partners of CanBeWell, as well as our affiliates, have provided us with ideas of how to reach out to the public. And we're very grateful to them.
Our tool deck borrows self-care tools from Touch for Health, Therapeutic Touch, Brain Gym, Masgutova Neuroreflex Integration, Eden Energy Method, Raising BioEnergetic Awareness, Dance, Tai Chi, Yoga, and Nature. A people without knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. Marcus Garvey.
So along with simple self-care, wellness, and well-being tools and balancing techniques, one of the most powerful pieces of knowledge that we have brought is from Touch for Health training. And it's that the flow can be created with the 5-element wheel. And we're using the wisdom from traditional Chinese medicine. And the 5 elements include water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. And we have weaved this incredible knowledge through the tools in this deck and in the games. Traditional Chinese medicine has thousands of years of experience with this knowledge and wisdom. Touch for Health focuses on this knowledge and links energy, muscles, and emotions. We explore the balancing power of the nurturing Shen cycle and the stabilizing Ko cycle. If you learn more, the fundamentals become at once simpler, but also subtler, deeper, more nuanced, and more meaningful. The self-care tools in this deck introduce you to easy and powerful wellness and well-being tools.
An area that's reached new heights in education, as well as with the programs from the Jessie Lewis Choose Love movement, have been identifying and exploring emotions and creating assistance for balancing emotions and creating resiliency in wellness. We have the power of Tai Chi movements to calm monkey thoughts. We have neurovascular holding points to create ease and flow through the brain and nervous system. We have 5-element emotion transformations with action. We've developed awareness exploration to understand more about what we experience and how we feel. And we also have our compass cards to help with intuition, intention, goal setting, action, and creating community to support us. This full package is building social and emotional learning skills combined with body, mind, and spirit activities and engagement through movement to move people forward into living fully. This combination is a very special formula. Emotion is more powerful than reason. Emotion is the driving force behind thinking and reasoning. Emotional intelligence increases the mind's ability to make positive, brilliant decisions. Dr. T.P. Chia.
As an interactive artist, one of the inspirations for me has been using color, nature, and imagination to create change for others. We have weaved sound, color, and movement together in a way that honors the balancing protocols found in Touch for Health, as well as traditional Chinese medicine. The best musicians transpose consciousness into sound. Painters do the same for color and shape. Haruki Murakami.
Okay. Kids love to hear, do you want to play a game? That's one of the best things for a parent or educator to say. Everyone loves to play a game, and card games are a wonderful way to gather people, to connect people, and to have time of building great memories. The game choices for our deck of cards is great for all age groups, from preschoolers to adults. And these games can be adjusted for the ability and understanding of each individual. And they're set up to help people to learn the value and depth of the bioenergetic wellness tools outlined on each card. We learn best through play. And there's numerous ways that you can play with this card deck. And we've just listed a few here, such as get to know the cards, play with the cards just one at a time, and cut the deck in half, choose a card, and choose the activity that you're going to do. So there's many individual activities throughout the whole deck, and they include sounds, colors, actions, movements, emotions, animals, neurovascular holding points, and nature. As well, there are formulas that you can create. And when you choose a formula card, you find the cards listed to create a pattern of activity that helps to foster well-being. There's memory and charades games, and there's 2 sets of cards to create these many different games, as well as memory challenge and memory twin. So play enhances our learning. Play cultivates curiosity, it cultivates compassion and connection, which is one of the keys on our card. which is we all are connected, choose love. So play supports and fosters and encourages social emotional learning. Play turns out to be so stunningly essential to childhood. It's like love, sunshine and broccoli, all juice together.
The specialty cards. The cards would not be complete without some special attributes. There are foot cards, which balance postural and dynamic reflexes found in such programs as MNRI. That's Masgutova Neuroreflex Integration. The sign language cards are inspired by the Choose Love formula, and it's a simple balance while exploring and gaining knowledge about sign language. The senses cards create a program similar to the PACE program that you would find in Brain Gym, and we have a few additions to that particular formula. And lastly, the key to bioenergetic wellness tools is goal setting and intention skill building. We call this the special sauce because it's truly a way to create a path for success when working with balancing opportunities. If you don't know where you're going, you might end up someplace else. It's really important to take the time to know what your dream looks like, envision it, bring in the awareness and the senses, and have an idea of what it is you really truly want. Sometimes we get stuck just where we are and in the simple things at the moment. And what we hope with this card deck is it starts to pull ideas forward and bring you forward into places you might not have gone before, but also to the place you'd like to be rather than someplace else. Every student can learn, just not on the same day and in the same way. What we recognize is there are lots of ways of learning, and there's lots of ways of exploring. Through the card deck, we've identified many of those different nuances, and we hope that the formulas and the way that they've been put together will be able to provide all students with an opportunity to play and be engaged, and that we've enticed the areas that they're most inspired by, so that everyone has a chance to make the very best they can with the tools that are available through BioEnergetic Wellness. So what you have in front of you here is the happiness formula. This is one of the formula cards, and we have 11 altogether. And what we've done is we've just showed you how you can take the cards out of the deck and put them into that little formula that's there. You have the CF Tranquility, which also is part of the earth element. It has actions and emotions, and it has the ability of holding that little beautiful pose that that bear is in to transfer from envy and criticism to empathy and sympathy, and a way to transfer and shift how you're feeling and where you want to be. You've got your breathing, how you're going to breathe in and breathe out. We have different exercises that you can engage in with that. You see our 2 senses cards. Those are ways that you may know things. So the first one is about touch and about engaging. And what we've done is you just take your hands and you just move them together and then feel the space between your hands. You may notice different kinds of sensations that start to come from that. And we play around with what that feels like. You have your sense of smell. And this one has the opportunity to just do a nice face massage and just give the opportunity to really feel what's happening and then to be engaged with what you can smell. And the last one is the calming points. So being able to put your fingertips onto your forehead, breathe deeply, and you'll notice that the emotions we have there are anger and resentment, which can be transferred over to things like content and happiness.
And I have to say that one of my favorite ones is the calming points. And that's a really great one for educators and students and parents and for everyone. So in addition to this incredible deck of cards that we've created, we've also published a book along with our dear friend Natasha Polomsky, BioEnergetic Essentials. And this book can be found for free. It's a free PDF on all of our sites, plus on CanBeWell's blog, the Global Healing Alliance, Nolative, and Choose Love. And if you'd like to purchase a hard copy of this book, you can get that through any of the authors. And the complete launch of our book will be coming up next week. We also have a specialty tea with intention and more of Tanya's incredible artwork with affirmations and intention by Michelle Greenwell. And in the affirmations for the body and biofield 4 series card deck. All of these simple and powerful tools for supporting your journey with self-care and an empowering journey of wellness and well-being. So for ordering information, you can check out the information here in this slide. And now we're going to begin our Q&A session.
Thank you, Paula. So I have some questions for you. And Tanya would be the first one. Tanya, would you tell us a bit more about the cover of the cards? And what are the inspirations within your artwork?
So if you look here at the cover for the cards, I chose this cover, or we chose this cover. To me, it embodies the stability we find in nature, the ability to center when we look upon a tree. It's added the colors of the rainbow because I think color can be very centering and soothing. And this line in the middle, when I created this photo, I saw this as a needle and thread. And I see this card as sewing us together in our interconnectedness. And when we look at books about nature, we learn that trees communicate to each other and their roots are interconnected, and that ecosystem supports growth amongst trees, and they nurture and support each other. And I guess I see this piece of art as demonstrating our desire to choose love and support each other in the call to compassion.
Thank you. Unfortunately, it's not big right now because it's stunning. So let's go to Paula. Paula, what is a recommendation you can make for educators?
Yeah, thank you. A few things to just begin. First of all, these cards have, powerful tools, and they're listed on the cards and in the information about the cards. And these easy and effective techniques help to enhance our wellness and well-being. And educators, students, and parents can utilize these tools, and grandparents and friends to enhance our self-awareness, our self-regulation, and our social emotional learning. There's so many benefits to these cards. A few of them include stress release, regulation of emotions, greater focus and concentration, calm relaxation in the body and nervous system, and can help with us improve reading and comprehension and to enhance our well-being. So I've utilized many of these techniques with children, adults, educators, parents, and in the classroom, students and educators can utilize these cards in a variety of ways. And kids love to play games. And as I mentioned earlier, play really is an important aspect to learning as it develops that curiosity and that connection. And here are just a few suggestions. So first of all, in a large group setting in the classroom, the student can lead activities and the student can choose the card. The whole class can do that activity together, and they can do that before a transition, after a transition. They can do it as an intention or goal setting for learning activity. So it's a really great way to empower our students and our educators. And in a small group, the student can use these cards and tools to play card games, and again, to develop self-awareness, self-regulation, and self-care skills as well. And individually, students can create, along with the assistance of an educator, a chill out or a relax center, and where students can choose an intention, pick a card, and utilize the activity on the card to cultivate calm relaxation in the body, mind, and nervous system. And those are just a few ideas. If you give those cards to kids, they'll take it away and they will create many activities with that.
Thank you, Paula. If I remember right, the cards are made out of special material, right? As you just mentioned.
Yes, the cards themselves are waterproof and tear resistant. So they're a really special material and very well made for kids and for messy adults like me.
Thank you. Michelle, what do you hope people will discover with this deck of cards?
I'm looking forward to the opportunity for people to realize that they can play. We have had this information in textbooks. We've had it in webinars, workshops, all in that formal linear setting where learning is given to you. You find the tools. Sometimes people use them, sometimes they don't use them, or they don't know where to find them. And what we wanted to do was get it out of the textbook. We wanted to get it into a format that was really easy to play with, and the pictures on it could just remind you of the activity. If the card deck is kept on your kitchen table or the front of the desk if you're a teacher, and they're accessible, you're going to be picking up that card deck and playing with it. And it's really simple to shuffle it through. I know, I don't know, maybe Tanya, if you pull the PowerPoint off there, if I just take.
I was waiting to see if you wanted me to do that.
Just to take the cards and just, you know, like when you're sitting at the table and you start shuffling through, to be able to go, oh, I kind of like that picture today, and to be able to stand up, and then the one I just picked was rolling back and forth on your feet. This one's for gravity. And we've got,
Water
that
element.
one is holding neurovascular points on the back of the head. And if you start to see, you know, something in the cards, and to be able to say, hey, I've got 2 minutes while the kettle's boiling, or we're waiting for the bus. And all of a sudden you're throwing these little tools into these little spaces that before were left empty. So we have Strong Mountain. That one is a wonderful yoga movement
Pose,
pattern,
yeah.
I believe. Is that right, Paula?
Yes, it is.
From yoga.
Warrior pose, right? No, or mountain pose, sorry. And say, oh, while you do it. I mean, the whole point, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Michelle, but the whole point is to play and have fun. You know, remember when we were little kids and we used to run around and just sing through the playground, and how awesome that made us feel in our bodies. And this is that permission. It's that permission to pick a card and do what it says, and to take the time and make the space for that. Because we think play, I mean, I'm thinking through this whole presentation when I was in university doing my master's, and I was laughing while we were learning, and the prof came up to me and said, the way that I understand learning is that you work first and play later. And I turned to the prof and I said, the way that I understand learning is that you play first and learn while you play, and then it's fun, and it is not work, it is just learning. And he gave me the face, but he still passed me.
But the thing is with learning is that if you do it with fun and play, it sticks.
Exactly, right?
And I love the idea that you guys came up with, to create a tool that's so easy, like us all teaching material and having it brought together, and then being able to take it from the sitting in front of the computer in our times, or in classroom. And even so, all of us are creating interactive and fun-filled lessons. The cards are just taking it a step further, which is so great. And just having them in your hand, as I'm gifted with one, so I'm really proud to have that in my hand and hold that. it's amazing. Just holding them is amazing. So you guys did an awesome job.
Can I let you in
have
on
more questions
a
for
little
you.
secret? I just need to share my little secret as an interactive artist, and I promise I won't steal the show. But I believe that art is healing and art is interactive. We look
Yeah.
at it, but the thing about the cards is, let's say you pick this card that says create community, and you think, I'd really like to create community today. Well, the deck doesn't have to stay together. You can put this in your back pocket, put it on your dash in your car, throw it in your book bag, stick it on your clipboard where you're going to a workshop. These are interactive cards. They have energy in them. And so this has the intention to create community. Well, you could carry it around with you, or you could write create community on the top of your morning pages while you're writing and see what happens that day as you begin to create community, or that week or that month. Because this is the start and start again card. Every card is start and start again. It begins the whole process of healing within our lives. So I'm done now.
Thank you, Tanya. So I have a couple more questions, or a few more questions, I should say. One of them is, I know that some of you have already taken them into action, and I would like to know some about the experiences out of that. What's the value with different students, different age groups and interest groups? So is there a one for all? Is that no, you can only play with one kind of student, or what's in it?
I'll start that. I played with them this week. We had them in our hands at the end of last week. So I had paper copies before that. So I actually had them in my hands this week. And the students that I was working with were wheelchair confined and had limited mobility. What I discovered when I said, well, I'd forgotten my music to a dance class. And so I was like, okay, well, no music today. So I'm going to play with this card deck, and we're going to start with the first ones off the top, which had Tai Chi movements in them. That's the monkey thoughts and all of the animal in action cards. And it was like a gift as I handed them cards to see what the pictures were. It was like getting a present. They were so excited to hold it in their hands. And as I said, they had limited mobility. So even holding a card was hard, but because of the non-tear paper, it was easy for them to hold it and it could be manipulated in their hand, which was really interesting. And the next part was we played with the deck, but I could lay it out so they could see where we were going. I pointed at each card, and then the activities. I am a Tai Chi instructor, and I know what a full movement might look like, but with limited mobility and they were seated, we worked with hands, we worked with small movements. And so I just took it to where they were at. And because it's part of a package of 5 elements, it was okay to do that. I introduced sound and color, and we were outside in nature with the birds. It was beautiful. So that was my first day experience. You know, it was really
So
great.
you're basically saying there is no limitations with the cards. There's no age group. Doesn't matter if it's kid or grown-ups, seniors, if there's disabilities or not, anybody can play with them. I love that. It's great. How can bioenergetic wellness professionals engage with those cards? What can they do? Is it like the educators, or do you see anything special to do in a different way? Or give me pointers here.
I can take that one. One of the visions is for people who are working with clients or who are working with students to be able to have this card deck available so that they can send them home for practice. I don't know about everybody else here on this call, but when I learned the 5 elements, it was like, what? I'll never remember all that information. And that Ko and Shen cycle, oh my goodness. We're hoping that these cards then really bring home all the tools that have been in the textbook, and they're a great way to practice. And we hope it's supportive for clients to be able to say, take 2 cards home, and this is what I want you to work on until the next time I see you. you know, there's lots of ways that you'd be able to play with the deck and really expand it.
That's a
Other
great
ideas?
gift too, because having a visual to hand out as a homework is way better than just telling them, as the visual is the reminder. Usually you give them the words and tell them what they need to do and they forget because there's everything going on. But that way they can just pull up the card and go like, oh yeah, that's what it was. So awesome job again.
Yeah, and as well, I believe that the cards are such great tools for self-care. And what a great way to teach our clients different ways that they can care for themselves, especially outside of our sessions with them. So to me, that's a really great thing. As well, these tools really promote self-awareness, which I believe is the foundation for self-care. So these are great things that practitioners can share with their clients, and parents can share with their kids. You can share with your colleague at work. And I just anticipate having them on my desk or somewhere in a prominent spot that someone can pick that up and practice a self-care tool, maybe perhaps set an intention or a goal, and that's something they can utilize for their day.
Nice. So will there be videos and explorations or workshops coming up? Anything in the working? Not quite finalized, but I think I heard something like that you're working on stuff. Is that correct?
I think you could hear from all of us, we all have completely different ideas of ways that we can hardly wait to get in and play. And so the best thing is going to be for people to go to our link tree for It's in the Cards. And if you want to check out what each of us is doing, we'll be able to post that in our own link trees. And as the videos come out and as workshops get developed, everything will be there, but we'll be playing around with all of the concepts so people have a chance to really get to know the cards and explore the concepts.
So next time, when can everyone see you guys next or us next? I know that we have something coming up on the 19th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The book launch officially, which ties into the books, into the cards, sorry. But is there anything else that's coming up in workshops or anything? Any projects otherwise tying into that? No?
One of the things that we've been focusing on this month for CanBeWell is self-care for youth. And so we have activities that are coming up this month for the month of August. And then we go into the pre-summit webinars, and there'll be also pieces coming along with that, which will kind of continue the theme along. And so I think people start to see the real expansion of the programs and how the card deck and the book are kind of the base piece for everybody to start from. And then we'll be ramping into more depth of concepts and explorations and education that people can engage in.
Awesome.
For any counselors listening, Michelle and I are going to look at doing a joint webinar for the Canadian Counseling and Psychotherapy Association of Canada on the joining of counseling and bioenergetic wellness, how CanBeWell and CCPA can work together and learn from each other. So that's also in the works.
That's one of the big things with CanBeWell, the outreach to others, other associations. We're not just based on bioenergetic wellness. We are really trying to create the connections and interactions to become more for everybody, right?
If you go back to the photo, we're creating a healing community that works together and supports each other.
Yeah.
I think
anything else you guys would like to share? Sorry.
That's okay. I was just going to say at the beginning when we listed off the influences of the techniques that inspired us to bring these pieces together, that's one of the pieces as an umbrella organization. CanBeWell's been working with these different disciplines and modalities, as well as other organizations. And so what people see within the cards is slightly different than if they had just studied one technique. We've actually embedded everything in there. And it kind of gets hidden just because of the way it comes in of 5 elements and things. But really, I know all of us have been in Therapeutic Touch, and we've learned so much from working with the skills of Therapeutic Touch. When you combine that in with some of the skills from Touch for Health, they just complement each other so well. And then Brain Gym comes around from another angle. It's just like this weaving of incredible techniques. And that's all embedded in the cards. So for people who've never tried anything before, this is a nice place to start. And then if they like what they're experiencing, to be able to go and look up some classes on the CanBeWell class schedule and find out who's teaching in their area, and maybe there's practice groups they can belong to. That's another way that they can engage. And just to know that these cards are a weaving, and that's not been really done before. It's usually each discipline kind of stands on its own, and we've really tried to pull the best.
I have one more question. The influence of Choose Love in there, the Choose Love movement, you tied into that a little bit, but basically this is the forefront of Choose Love Canada. So that you two, Michelle and Paula, are some of the first Choose Love ambassadors in Canada. Tanya and I followed in your steps, let's say it this way. And we have some other wonderful people at the Choose Love Canada movement. But how much would you say has Choose Love influenced the creation of the cards?
Well, it says on the cards, we are all connected, choose love. I'd say it's had a big influence on us.
Yes. So thank you so much. Love you. And I think that's it for tonight. If you have any questions, you can find all of them on the link tree for It's in the Cards. So it's linktr.ee / it's in the cards, one word. And all the information, all the connections, contact information is there to get in contact with those lovely ladies and ask the questions you want to know. They are knowledgeable, big time. So I'm happy and proud to be part of your team in some way, and I'm proud of you guys to create such an amazing tool.
Thank you, Natasha.
Thank you.
Thank you.